record this. I have no clue who's going to hop on and who's not, so we'll just get started. Feel free to mute yourself and then unmute yourself when you have questions or whatever. But I will kind of let you guys just ask any questions that you have and go from there.
Well, I have a question for like the newer coaches. Can you talk about how like the gap between starting these new things and building that momentum? Because when you start implementing something new, you don't always see the effects right away. There's usually like a 60, 90-day window or something. Can you talk about that?
So how to start it with new coaches?
Yeah, because a lot of people will start implementing these new changes expecting to see results within the first few weeks or something. And a lot of times it takes a couple of months for that momentum to get built up and that income.
It does. However, I can really only speak to the 60 to 90 day delay in the business as far as when I stopped doing the 3 vital behaviors and how I saw the dip in my income and then how long it took for that to come back. Because when I was a new coach, and I tell all my new coaches this, when I was a new coach, I earned my investment back in the first 3 weeks simply by sharing my story and sharing my story, like really sharing my story, sharing my progress, and talking to people. I had a lot of people, though, that came to me at the beginning wanting to know what I was doing, and then I just simply shared. So I started off hitting Success Club right away, and I started off getting my Shakeology covered right away. So yes, there is a delay in the business, but there isn't any reason why coaches can't get their investment covered or can't hit Success Club in the first 30 days. And I think that a lot of it has to do with setting up the expectation from the beginning that it is possible. I think the biggest difference in coaches who earn the investment back right away and who don't earn the investment back right away is the depth of your posts. If you are not being real and honest and truly sharing your story and what's going on, then you're not connecting with people. And if you're not connecting with people, then no one wants to work with you because you don't have that trust built up. So I think that's honestly the biggest piece, is finding an authentic way to share your story that's not salesy and that connects with people. Does that help?
I don't know. There, I was like, yeah, I was kind of wanted you to touch on that. And then I know this also kind of comes up, I guess I'll just say, because that's what I was thinking of, was, well, when you had stopped being consistent with your business, and you got the momentum going again, it took you a while to get back up the hill. Same thing with Michelle, and I saw the same thing with myself. So when you stop being consistent, that's when there's that little bit of a delay sometimes.
Oh, I'll be totally transparent. Before I moved, so before August, I was averaging, I would say, around 400 a week. Once I stopped doing the 3 vitals, and I was still working out, I was still drinking Shakeology, I was still doing personal development. I was deep into personal development. I stopped inviting. That's really what I stopped doing. So it kills me when people say, oh, I didn't get invites in today. You're killing your business by not getting invites in. When I stopped inviting, that's when my business dipped. And what ended up happening was I went from $400 to $500 a week to $150 a week. This is my full-time job that I'm living off of this income. So to have $150 does not cover my bills. And so it was a real wake-up call. And then I got back into it, but it took me a month and a half to really get my mindset back. And then I continued to watch my income dip and dip and dip, and I was putting in the effort. And so when I say to people, do not let your business slow down, do not stop doing what you're doing, it's because it will take you probably 3 months to get back to where you were to continue to grow. It's huge. Like it's a huge consequence to take your foot off the gas. And now I'm back. So, I mean, so now, that was August. It's now December, and I'm making, that's a long time. That's a long time. So, yeah. What else?
And I know that you said this is new for the team trial. It's the 30 days. So these are people that you're inviting to coaching, right? And you're giving them the trial for the bod, or are you just saying purchase your product and then you got 30 days?
I'm giving them the trial. So basically the requirement is to sign up as a coach. So if someone's talking to me about, a challenge pack program challenge group, then I always offer them the opportunity to sign up as a coach. And the way I talk to them about it is you can sign up as a coach for free and basically get free or 30 days free to try our team. You get access to the training. You get access to additional support. And I tell them, like, for my fitness journey, the support was the missing link. This is the only time I've ever stayed true to anything for almost 2 years. And I guarantee it's because I'm surrounded by thousands of people on their health journey. And so I give them the opportunity, try it for 30 days. And if you don't benefit from the extra support, then you decide, do you want to continue on or go on as a customer? And it's been working so far.
Do you put them in the big team pages? Do you just put them in your team page? Like, because I feel like I have coaches that I don't even have in Lauren's page yet because they're so overwhelmed with just what I'm giving them that I'm so scared to put them in there when they need to be in there. They get more, obviously, seeing other newer coaches, and it's just like, should I throw them in there? Because I feel like they would just get so overwhelmed, or do you just put them in yours?
I put them in. So I have two. I have my big Ignite the Fight page, and then I have my PS Coach page. And I just feel them out. Like, if I feel like you get to know people enough that you can kind of tell where their overwhelm factor is. If I feel like they're more apt to just like be like, you know what? Nope, this isn't what I want. Then and I don't put them in the Ignite the Fight page, and I only put them in my PS Coach page. Sometimes I start them there, and then as they're more active, I transition them in. I give them options also in my welcome email, but I don't ever go past that. I don't ever put them in Lauren's. Like, they choose to go in Lauren's, they choose to go in Joelle's.
There was something else too. I'm trying to think. With your free people, or no, let's just go back to because your free people, like, obviously you're giving them the trial of that too. What else are you giving them support after that? Hang on, sorry. I'm like so out of I'm trying to, because my thing is I'm trying to give them the free information, the free value, and then I get crickets. So that's not working for me. So the other day, I almost scratched doing free groups because it's just, they suck for me. So it's I give them the meal plan, I give them everything, I give them the workouts, and they're just not, I even film my own workouts for them. I don't know what else I can give them to feel supported. And I don't, how to connect with them to really get them. I know it's you can't help those who don't want it, but they say they do. And then you get them in there and they're nothing.
One thing that I really liked that I've heard Amy Silverman say, and I kind of run things the same way, is she says that she's not a different kind of coach than for her challengers than she is leader for her team. And she expects people that if they say they want it, then it's their journey. They have to take responsibility for it. And so I put them in my, so let's see, I offer them okay, so let me break this down. When I'm inviting to a challenge group, I have a 21-day challenge group. There's a deadline that I set for them to purchase in order to get in that 21-day challenge group. If they don't hit that deadline, but they still have access, they can order a challenge pack for me, but they're not going to be in that 21-day group. If they order after the deadline, then I have a large team accountability fitness group that they go into. So in the large team fitness accountability group, I have a mix of free customers. They have to sign up for the free customer membership though. So I have free customers. I have old challengers who aren't really doing anything anymore. And then I have challengers who missed the deadline and are actively in their program. Some people post, some people don't, and you know what? That's them. That's their journey, and that's kind of on them. I'm posting in there either what I'm eating, I'm posting my workouts, I'm showing that I'm still doing it. I try to add value as far as, tips, recipes, like, hey, get your water in, like whatever, but it's up to them to do it ultimately, so they have access to the support. And I also tell them, the coaches who are signing up for the free 30-day Try Our Team, I tell them, you only feel the support if you try it. So like, you can't just assume that like all of a sudden the team's going to be like, oh my God, I want to support you. Like, if you want to be part of the team, then you have to kind of put yourself out there a little bit and introduce yourself. Or if you're struggling with something, post in the team page. Like, you have to, if you're visible, then you're going to feel the support, but you can't sit back and do nothing and say, I didn't get any support,
Right.
Does that help?
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm losing people like left and right, and I already know my problem. So it's my inconsistency. So I know that's what's happening with them, but it's just trying to get new. I just have like, I mean, I know you're going to say the excuse of no one to invite, but
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Now I can, yeah.
But I just feel like I'm re-inviting the same people. I'm just like exhausting them.
Okay, so stop there. Then you have to stop re-inviting the same people. If you're reconnecting with 5 new people every single day, 5 times 30, you have 150 people a month that are new people you're reconnecting. That's 150 people that you can be inviting every single month. Some days I reconnect with more than 5 people because I usually reconnect with all birthdays, and then I might pull some other people from, so some days I'm doing 5, some days I'm doing 10 reconnects. It depends, but I never do less than 5 reconnects. If I feel like I look at my list of reconnects and I don't know who to invite, then I know that I need to bump up my number of reconnects so that, because there are some people that I reconnect with, but I don't invite them. I don't feel comfortable inviting men, but I'll still wish him a happy birthday. You know what I mean? So
I have that problem too. Yeah. I guess it's just like, I mean, I've talked to Michelle too about getting back on to tracking with this. So I'm excited to start doing your system. And that's why I said I was following everything you've been doing, just because I know where my inconsistency is, and it's not inviting. So
yeah, if you don't invite, your business won't grow.
Right. That's the problem.
And you have to remember too that, like, yes, okay, if you're not hitting Success Club, it doesn't mean that you're not helping anybody, but you have to remember that ultimately, if you're not hitting Success Club, you're not helping anybody. And if you're not helping anybody, then A, you can't expect your business to grow, and B, why are you doing it in the first place?
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of like, if I reconnect with them, they're like, oh, I can't do it, you do. And it's like, no, you can.
And I think sharing your story and weaving coaching into everything that you do and sharing where you've come from and where you are now, that's huge. Because when you're adding people to your network, all they see is where you're at right now. They don't know where you were 2 years ago. They don't know where you were in high school. They don't know like that. People don't know that I haven't always been like this confident person, I mean, Sharon knows, but, but like, people don't know that. And so you have to constantly remind people of where you've come from and where you are now, and that coaching has been the missing link in that.
Right.
Can I take a turn?
Yeah.
So I have 2 questions now. You just brought up a question for me. You said you're not comfortable inviting men. Why? What's the big stigma against inviting men? I've noticed that we have like 1% of men coaches. What is that? Because I have quite a few prospects that are guys.
I think it boils, I'm not comfortable because that's my own confidence. That's my own shit that I have to work on. So that's me. Second of all, men don't fit my avatar. And it's not that yes, there are men that need to ignite that fight. There are men who need to realize that they deserve so much more in their life. I don't think that I am that person to help them find that. I welcome all men on our team. So if you want to talk to men, you do it, Bobby Joe. Bring them on. But it just boils down to, I know who I want to work with, and I know who I feel very passionate working with, and that's what it is for me. So that's the answer to that one. What's your other question?
Okay. So the other question is, at the end of the call, at the end of the Zoom, you bam, 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 right through your 532. I do this, and this. Your new messages. When I do my 532, I do my 5 reconnects, the 5 invites, and then I do 3 adds to network and 3 follow-ups. I don't do the new messages because I feel like the reconnects are the messages. Why are your new messages different than the reconnects?
Because to me, reconnects, sometimes there's an overlap. To me, reconnects are people that I have talked to in some other month, like maybe last year. They're literally, I'm reconnecting with them. New messages, I usually go into groups. I have pretty much 2 groups that I go into. Usually it's the divorce group or paleo group, because those are 2 things that are very core to who I am. And that's usually where I find people who fit my avatar. So, but I don't go into it with the Beachbody mindset. I go into those groups to send 3 new messages, usually to send some sort of support to someone, to kind of be their personal cheerleader that they probably aren't getting otherwise. I don't always add them to my network. It sometimes happens and it sometimes doesn't. But that's usually where I get my new messages, and then my reconnects I pull from my Facebook list, which, yes, some of them are going to be new, because if you've added them to your network and you've never messaged them, then technically it's a new message. I know the question has been brought up before. How do you send like a reconnect or hey girl to someone who you added to your network who you've never talked to before? They're going to think you're weird. Most likely they're only going to think you're weird if you think you're weird. And if you really don't know how to do that, then they're going to pop up in your birthday list, and everyone loves a birthday message. So it's a really non-weird way to send a new message to someone who's in your friends list.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a question. How often do you reprint your friends list so you're getting the people you've added to your network on there?
I printed this out in September, and I'm still using it because I have, on this list, I probably have about 1,200 friends. So I'm only going to print out another one once I have everyone highlighted on this list. So you're not going to print it out very often, but then think about it. If you're still adding, then the next time, like, so right now I'm at 1,500 friends. So I've grown 200 friends, or, 200 to 300 friends in the last couple months. That just, I mean, like, the opportunities are endless when you think of it that way.
Don't you feel like you should talk to somebody within a certain time frame after adding them to your network? Because isn't it kind of, there's that creepy thing, isn't it kind of creepy to add someone to your network and then never say anything to them for like 6 months?
I don't know. I mean, some people unfriend me, and you just have to be okay with that. You have to know that if you've added them and they clicked that accept and then they decide to unfriend you, that's on them. Right. Either they feel like they have nothing to connect with you on, or they're not ready to see that positivity, or they're afraid that you're going to reach out to them. Whatever it is, that's their stuff. If they decide that, like, oh, this person actually adds value, sometimes people will reach out to you before you've ever had a chance to. So just let them watch you. Let them see what you're about.
I think, too, I have something to say with that, too. I think, too, if you're adding people who you have mutual friends with, people don't think that's creepy, because they're like, oh, we have, like, 10 friends in common. We must know each other somehow, or we live in the same town. So it's not that creepy if you don't then message them right away.
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't want people to think I'm a lurker. Here, be my friend, and I'm just going to spy on you.
I had a question, Ann.
Yeah.
So these the friends of a friend, do these people meet your avatar, or are they just people that are friends of friends?
They're just friends of friends. And I know that some people, like I think Claire only adds friends of friends if they fit her avatar, but sometimes you don't know if they fit your avatar until you talk to them. The thing you have to be careful with friends of friends is always look to see who the friends are. If you look at the friends and you see that one of the friends is a coach, leave them alone, because then it gets messy. It really, because then it's like, oh, did you build the relationship first? Did I build the relationship first? So just make sure that you're looking at, if it's, if there's like 14 friends in common and they're like someone from high school, or like I used to be a nanny, so I was in a lot of nanny groups. So I add a lot of friends where a lot of mutual friends are nannies. But just be aware of that, so that, we're not stepping on any toes. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
And the other thing to know about adding friends of friends is that we learned at the Diamond Retreat won't go to Facebook jail. If you're adding a bunch of people with no mutual friends, Facebook flags your profile. If you're adding friends of friends where you have a lot of mutual friends, then you're good to go. So you can send 10 friend requests. And the other thing is that then ultimately your business is working overnight. I have woken up in the morning and had like 5 new friend request accepted people, whatever, like they've accepted it. And so it's kind of a way to do a little bit of work while you're sleeping, which is always a positive.
But you also can't have too many friend requests sitting open either.
But it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters if they're friends of friends.
It
doesn't. Oh, does it? Okay.
As long as you have I think more than 4 or 5 friends in common, you won't go in jail. I don't even want to know how many friends I have requests open.
Yeah. And sometimes you'll see a message pop up that says friend requests are only for people you know in real life. Do you know this person? So if I'm having a conversation with someone, let's say who I met in a group, and I'm feeling that connection and I decide to send them one, then I just let them know hey, FYI, I sent you a friend request. I've really enjoyed getting to know you. Hope it's cool. If they say, yeah, sure, then they accept it. If they say, no, I just really keep it for friends and family, then just go and unsend the request or whatever so that it's not flagging you.
I got a question on I love the idea of the 30-day trial for coaching. I was bringing in discount coaches and working coaches, obviously, but I had 2 different welcome emails. I had created a welcome email and a welcome video for my discount coaches, letting inviting, bringing them to the team, letting them know what's available to them whenever they're ready to work, yada yada. And then of course I had a more intense welcome email for the coaches that are wanting to work. Do you do 2 separate welcome emails?
No, I do 1 email. And because I want them to have access to everything. And I will sometimes put a little blurb, I know that you're just kind of trying it out, or I know that right now you want to focus on the discount. I never call them a discount coach because we learned, from Janelle Summers at Platinum Edge, do not label them. But I say, I know that right now you're more focused on the discount. However, I treat all my coaches the same. And I just want to make sure that you have access to everything in case you decide you want to look it over. It puts everything on them, but then they feel oh, well, she's not treating me any differently. You never know what will happen. We hear success stories all the time of people who are in it for the discount and end up, being a rock star. So.
Yeah. Lee was in it for the discount. She had absolutely no desire to work whatsoever.
Same with Whitney and Bobby Joe. I mean, there's a lot of people who just want the discount and then they're oh, wait a second, I can actually do this.
What kind of welcome email do you send? I've switched my welcome email to be, like I said, more in-depth where they get pretty much 30, 45-minute video up front with different links to know everything up front before they go into more actually working rather than a 30-day training.
I do. I just switched it after Platinum Edge. I do a little welcome. I do my kind of welcome video and I address what they're capable of, whether they want the discount or want to work the business, that even if they just think they want the discount, they're very capable of doing this. And I just, remind them to dream big. I did give a few social media tips like Janelle suggested. And then I gave them 2 options for training. So I say if you want the slow track, you can do the Platinum University 14-day training. If you want the fast track, here's a 30-minute video that gives you all the information that you need to hit the ground running. I just remind them that I am their mentor and not their boss. And that if And then I kind of give them like a chain of command. So like if you have questions, Google it, YouTube it, post in the team page. Like, of course you can come to me, but most things people don't need to come, like you usually don't need to go to your upline for every single question. So I'm really trying to work on developing independent coaches.
Will you share a sample of it, Anne?
What else?
Oh. Can I just come over, Anne?
Sure. You were gonna come, to like run that 15K one day.
Right, next year. I will.
Next year, I'm holding you to it.
What date is the Platinum Edge again for next year?
It's September. It's like the weekend of September 23rd or something.
Ooh, they're doing it
Yeah.
early.
Yeah, the 23rd or 25th.
It's I can tell you, it's September 23rd through the 25th. I would suggest getting there on Thursday the 22nd, so you're there the day before.
And start planning now to be there. Don't wait until the summer to decide I'm gonna go. Oh, I don't have any money. Like, start planning now.
Right.
And I heard we hear that live events are non-negotiables. We hear that, Platinum Edge is, I can't stress it enough. I mean, I've now gone to Summit and I've now gone to Platinum Edge. I agree with the thought that Platinum Edge is a more solid training than Summit. It's more focused, it's more pinpointed, and you walk away with really like a game plan of where to go in your business. But both of them, I should say, are non-negotiables. I don't care what you have to do. You have to get to both of them, no matter what. Because like the information that I came away with and the drive that I came away with, there's no way that I would have gotten there without going and seeing it for myself. And when leaders come back and try to kind of retrain you, you just don't get the same kind of training. It's not the same as hearing it firsthand.
Ben, I need tape.
Are there any other questions you guys have? Or anything that you clarified, or anything that you're personally struggling with, or I don't know, anything?
I have a question about live events.
Yes.
Super Saturday should be coming up next month, yes, in January?
Yes.
I was trying to look for where Super Saturday would be close to me, and apparently I'm looking in all the wrong places. I Googled, I looked on my back office, I can't find it. Is there a place where they're all listed somewhere? I missed the one.
It will be in the back office. You can search the FAQ. They may not be up yet, like because people register to host Super Saturdays, and so it's very possible that people just haven't registered their event yet.
I would wait until like January, beginning of January, since I think it's at the end of January.
Yeah, and I think the beginning is usually when we have our surge.
Yeah.
Surge.
The surge is it's like a couple hour long. Carl does it with like other top. It's on YouTube. We do what, two a year?
I think he's been doing more though. I feel like this year he did more than just 2.
Yeah, those are good because you just,
Once a quarter.
it's like Super Saturday from your home, kind of. I mean, it's really good information.
Okay. All right.
Lauren, is there anything else that you wanted me to go over?
No, I think you hit like everything.
Cool.
That was awesome. Just what I think we needed. And the babies. I just love all the babies on.
I know.
Baby spam.
I'm just going to stop